school community, but thank you for letting me know that this meeting is being recorded. Where was I? There is a spike in our school community, as we anticipated would happen when we came back from winter break. Many students came back bearing the gift of COVID. So we have had to do more quarantining and watching our numbers more carefully. But thank you, parents, for going with the flow with this. We are in better shape than many schools in the area. And one of the reasons is because so many parents are taking the idea of getting their children vaccinated seriously. So if that includes you, thank you so much. It does make a difference. It is helping to keep our numbers down. If you haven't gotten the vaccination yet for your children, if you're on the fence, I just heard on the news, I haven't looked it up yet, but the governor's office, the Minnesota, has announced a bonus for families that get their children vaccinated over the months of January and February. I'll find out more information about that and put it in my update for this coming week. Just a reminder as well, the schedule has changed a little bit. We have regular school on Thursday and no school on Friday. The shift allowing us to do some more professional development, and the staff and I are excited to have this opportunity to dive a little bit deeper into some topics that we've been wanting to work on, and providing them some well-needed time to meet as teams as they continue to think about plans as we move into the spring. So we're back at it. I love teaming with you and I appreciate all of your efforts to keep us healthy at school. And we are going to do our very best to make sure that we can stay that way. So encourage your children, wear that mask up over the nose, including on the bus, socially distanced when they can, and wash hands often.
Thank you, Dr. Hebeisen. Are there any questions for Dr. Hebeisen? All right.
No, but I will definitely just say a quick thank you to Hebeisen and all of his staff. I know that you guys are working like ridiculously, and I mean, just like a circus to make everything work. I know you guys had a lot of staff out this week, and I just cannot thank you enough for doing what you're doing to keep our kiddos in school and engaged. So thanks.
Yeah, thank you. It has been a challenge. We have had more absences due to COVID, especially. But we have wonderful support staff that has stepped forward to step in and sub for us. And we are so fortunate to have qualified people right in our building that can do that. And of course, if any of you have been itching to see if you'd like to be a teacher, remember there are ways to get your short-term sub license pretty easily. So watch my update and we'll pull you into sub at Tanglewood. That would be fun.
Great, thank you. All right, and then we have Jennifer St. Clair from Hef joining us. Jen, do you want to do a little introduction?
I'll just like give her the old like hoorah, because Jim and I have both been working with Jen this year for the Hef Bash. Jim has been on the Hef board. For anybody who doesn't know, it's the Hopkins Education Foundation, and they award grants to our staff and do like really amazing things that we wouldn't otherwise have the funds to be able to do. I know that you guys have all seen the sensory path that is in the hallway that leads down to our media center. There have been, I mean, numerous literary grants that have gone to Ann Baird, and Jennifer can tell you more about the things that have specifically come into Tanglin, but I know that they have been a huge supporter of Tanglin. And so I'm really grateful that she does the work that she does and works tirelessly, literally on behalf of all of our kids, to give our kids things that we wouldn't otherwise be able to get through the district. So she's here to talk a little bit about the biggest fundraiser that they do in the year, which is the Hef Bash coming up in February. Both Jim and I are on the board of that, or on the committees for that event. And so we know more than the average bear about it. And so I'm happy to answer questions, but Jen will give us the kind of quick skinny as the boss of Hef.
I don't know if you love much for me to say, but thank you for the kind words, Jem. It's great working with you and Jim and all of these fabulous Tanglin parents that have stepped up to work at the foundation, Mara, Gal, and Garrett. Obviously Jim and Jen, Karen Wilcox, Kim Kotzen, Nicole Shackman, Ellie Wolport, lots of families supporting HEF. So thank you. And thanks for allowing me a couple minutes tonight. I had a longer presentation, but I know that the slate is full, so I'm going to make it shorter. HEF has been around since 1995, so we're coming into our 27th year. And in that time, we've awarded $3.3 million in grants to Hopkins Public Schools. That's about 575 grants. What's cool about that is Tanglin has received about $265,000 worth of grants since the beginning of our awarding of grants. Most recently, just to top off a couple that Jen mentioned, you've got a couple staff members that are really smart about submitting grant applications and typically get them awarded. So in the past, I'd say probably a year and a half, we've had about $12,000 worth of grants come your way. The Tanglin Pickleball Court, probably not set up yet, but will be as the weather warms up. Learning with Heart, it's the Reggio Emilio reading program that's Ann Bear is working with the kindergartners and first graders. We've got Building Thinking Classrooms. Those are the big whiteboards that are now up in the math classroom with Kim Rosso, where kids can actually do their math problems on the big whiteboards. We've had a couple COVID grants, and I'm reading from my list because there's a lot. There's the Fine Motor Kits for distance learners. We addressed that last year. So they had really fun little kits that we sent home with the students. We did 5th grade virtual literacy, COVID reading groups together at home, and we also did the Hmong Family Outreach Program about a year and a half ago. So those are just a couple of the grants that we have been putting together over the past probably the past year and a half. But you asked if I had a question for Jim, and I do. What are you doing on Saturday, February 26th, Principal Habison?
Well, not much. Well, I am blessed to be able to spend the evening with my son, Adam, who is a real talent in my family. And we are going to be hosting the Hopkins Education Foundation Gala that night. So I am very excited to be pulling out a plaid sport jacket and joining the HEF Gala with my son to provide a fun evening. We're looking forward to it. I am a huge supporter of HEF and the wonderful things they do, not only for Tanglin, but all of the students in our school district. And I hope we have a huge contingency of Tanglin parents that will be there as well to cheer me on as I try to keep up with my son, who is a fabulous singer, as we do a song or two together and try to keep it entertaining for you.
Well, we are absolutely thrilled that you are joining us. We had 2 principals last year join us for our first virtual event, Principal Radal and Principal Navidad, but super excited to have you this year. It is going to be on Saturday, February 26th at the Marriott Minnetonka Southwest. The cool thing about this year is it's going to be a hybrid event. So if you're comfortable attending in person, you will get to see Jim and his son and hopefully hundreds of more Hopkins supporters getting together for an evening of fun. It's a great evening that starts at 6. We have cocktails and mingling. We have the plaid Plinko game. We have a photo booth. We have a sit-down dinner. We have a cake auction. We have a raffle. And then as the night really progresses, we're going to get into the live auction as well as our special appeal. So it's an evening filled. You'll have a lot of fun. In the past, we've sold out. We've had 440 people attend. However, this year with the situation of COVID, we are going to cut that amount down by 25%. So we'll probably be looking at about 350 people. COVID vaccine cards will be required at the door. We feel that's the most safe way to go about hosting an event of this size. We hope everyone understands. But the cool part is if you don't want to attend live and enjoy the festivities, you can actually register at no cost, of course, at our register for our virtual event, which will be a portion of the night. You won't obviously be there as the cocktail hours are going on, but hopefully you can have that at your own home or mingle with your friends and family. But at about 7:45, the program will begin, and all those out in virtual Wonderland will be able to join in and learn about HEF and what we're doing and what we're hoping to raise that night. The big thing about that night is we typically have a special appeal, a fund to need for some of you who might not know the special appeal, where we try to come up with a program that the whole community can get behind and raise their bid paddles and raise quite a bit of money. What we've done this year is we're doing an extension of the Pathways to a Healthy Future. And we're asking, I'm meeting individually with the principals at all schools along with the development committee to come up with programs that the principals and their staff want to do for their students to improve the social and emotional well-being of both the students and the staff. So we're consulting with principals and staff to find out at each school what we can do to fund to help our students navigate what continues to be unprecedented times around here and around the United States and the world for that matter. We just want to address and help out where we can. We don't want to dictate what the program is. We want the principals to tell us what would be best for them. So we're in the throes of the final details of that and super excited to share that with everyone. We've had some great special appeals in the past. Anything you want to find out about Hopkins Education Foundation, super easy, just visit our website, hopkinseducationfoundation.org. So we've got the big event that will raise funds. Typically, we raise about $300,000 at this event. We have a lot of supporters. I know, I think I saw Matt on here. Hopkins Youth Hockey Association is one of our bigger supporters, but we have a ton of fabulous supporters and sponsors of our event. So we will walk in that night with $100,000 already in our pocket based on our sponsors, which is huge. The other cool two items would be to mention that we have, for the first time ever, initiated by Jen Cameron and Jen Hoyska, a HEF pop-up shop. We were a little hesitant to kind of dilute all the different things that we're doing, but these ladies, Jen and Jen, convinced us that we should move forward with a pop-up shop. So I know Jen will probably share the QR code, but what's on this shop is kind of fun HEF and Hopkins items. There's lanyards, there's tumblers, there's tea towels, there's folding chairs, a really cool buffalo plaid folding chair that you can use to prop up at the side of any of those outdoor events you attend for your kids. There's decals for the car, window clings. There's just a lot of really fun items. And the most fabulous part about the pop-up shop is 100% of the proceeds go back to HEF. So these ladies on our committee this year, and Jim Cameron being the token male, are just absolutely fantastic. And we're having a lot of fun preparing for this big event. So we hope you can attend, whether it's in person, whether it's live. If you want to just visit the pop-up shop and buy something, HEF, Hopkins Public School related, that would be great too. We also have raffle tickets available. So there's multiple ways for everyone to get involved in this big event. And again, I can't tell you how excited we are to have Principal Habison and his son, Adam, hosting our event, because I think when you have a staff member that's been through everything alongside of you, as we've navigated all this crazy stuff, it just makes more of an impact to have him standing up at the head of the room leading our event. So super excited about that. I know there's a lot of fun things in store, and I know Jen and Jim can answer just about any questions you'd want to know. Trevor, I recognize your name too, so I think you guys are sponsors as well. Is it it's baseball related?
Yeah, it's big Willow Baseball. Yep.
Sorry, I had a lot of good stuff going on here, but thank you for your support as well too.
Absolutely.
Greatly appreciate it. So any questions? I know you've got a big slate ahead of you here. I'm available. Jen's available. Jim's available. Jim Cameron. Anything I can answer on the spot? Cool beans. Okay.
I'm going to
We're
put in a
excited.
very quick plug for the custom design that is on many of the items that is in the Hef shop. We worked with an artist that did a hand drawing rendering of all of our schools that are in our district. And so there's an actual hand drawn rendering of every building from Harley Hopkins to Eisenhower to Tanglin. And it's these images that are on the little tumbler and the lanyard, and it's just charming. So I have to like put in a plug for the artist, because I think that she did a really great job, and it makes these things feel special. And once they're gone, they're gone. It's not something that the Hef shop will live on after this fundraiser. And since it was all donated we had a donor that purchased everything. And so 100%, it's not like you buy a lanyard and $3.50 of it goes to pay for the lanyard and $5 goes back to Hef, because all of the items are donated to the shop. 100% of anything that you buy goes to Hef. So even if you're, not in a position or interested in going to the event, it's a great way to donate $10 to the cause, and every little bit helps. That's my plug.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
everybody.
thank you, Jennifer, for joining us.
I'll click off now. Take care. Have a great night.
Thanks, Jen.
Okay.
Okay, so now we can, we've got speakers for different Hopkins activities that are coming up in the spring and summer. So we'll go through a group of speakers and then do questions after a few, and then go through another group, because I think we've got them joining us in 2 segments. Matt from Hopkins Hockey, I believe he's got a time constraint. Is Matt's on right now?
Am I on? Can you guys hear me?
Yes. If you
All right,
want to
so,
start us off.
All right. So Matt, with the president of Hopkins Youth Hockey, and like Jennifer said, we are one of the kind of title sponsors for the HEF Foundation. We're fortunate enough that we have, when you're at Bunnies or at Tuttle's or JJ's playing pull tabs, we get a portion of that money that we donate back to Hef. So play some pull tabs. It helps Hopkins hockey, but also helps Hef as well. But going on the hockey piece, it's more of a fall and winter activity, but for the younger ones, there's still some time to sign up. We cater to kids ages 4 through 15, playing hockey here in Hopkins. For first year players, if you're thinking about playing, it's free. Registration and equipment's free for players. So we try and make sure that cost is not a hindrance for kids playing. We also have scholarships for kids and families that can't financially afford to play. We have equipment grants and stuff as well. So we are always out there pounding the pavement looking for new players. Currently we have 330 kids in Hopkins playing hockey, boys and girls. We partner with St. Louis Park in our girls teams, but we have 3 teams at each level in our boys, squirts, peewees, and bantams, and we have might 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's no for kids who are starting out, we have learned to skate. You have to have no experience at all. Same with parents. If you've never played before, we will show you the ropes and help you out. I see on here faces of hockey families, so you can reach out to them. Trevor, for example, has his kids playing hockey, so he'd be a good resource for you to talk to as well. But just know that we're here for your kids to play hockey, to have the experience, and let your families know that cost should not be a hindrance. I think there's a mystique about hockey that's very expensive, and we luckily here in Hopkins have our pull tabs and stuff that allow us to make it really, really affordable for our families. So if people have questions, they can reach out to me. Go to the Hopkins Hockey website. You can find me on there, or ask Trevor. He can give you my contact information as well. But that's about all I got for that. We hope to see more kids out. This is our biggest year ever, is for kids. We grew about 25% in our signups this year. So I think kids are itching to get out of the house and do some things. So we hope to add to that, next year as well. So hope to see you at the rink. Again, for your winter activities, think about hockey with Hopkins Hockey.
Thank you so much, Matt.
All right. I have to run. I got a game to go to. I'm at the PAV right now. So if you have questions, shoot me an email or give me a call.
Sounds
You
good.
can find me on the website there on the screen.
Good luck.
Perfect. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Right. And Trevor with Big Willow Baseball.
Perfect. Hi there, my name is Trevor Knight. I'm the outgoing president for Big Willow Baseball at the current moment. I see lots of friendly faces, other co-Big Willow individuals, Mike Lippert, Brandon Weiss, another mom, Kathy Otis, who's have had and have kids going through the program. Big Willow is a great organization right down the street on Minnetonka Boulevard. It caters to kids 4 through 12. We start kids off in what we call mites, which is basically t-ball, and they advance to a machine pitch, which then they advance on to kid pitch, and then another year of kid pitch. We have baseball for all skill levels. We have tournament teams, and then we have house ball teams. We also have a spring season that starts in end of April is when Brandon told me opening day was April 30th, and continues all the way until the beginning of July, right before July 4th is the last of our season. And then we start up again for what's called summer season, which starts usually the first week of or the next week after the 4th of July, and then takes about a month and goes until about the 9th or 10th of August. So it's a great facility. There's 3 fields. You can see a video that's on here that one of our previous board members, who's also a Tanglin parent, put together for us. And he did a fantastic job showcasing the essence of Big Willow Baseball. A lot of kids from Tanglin play at Big Willow, and it's a great organization to see families and friends of Tanglin parents, Tanglin kids, and also you'll see the occasional Tanglin teacher who shows up to support their students participating in outside activities. So it's a great place to go, great place to be a part of a community. Mike or Brandon, I'll let you guys say anything if you want to kind of ad lib to that if you'd like.
Trevor, you did great. No, so I've been involved with Big Willow for a few years, coaching both my son and my daughter. It was my daughter's now in kindergarten. It was just awesome that we were able to have a few kids on her summer team going into kindergarten that wound up being her classmates. And that happens. Everybody's got a story of a Tanglin friend that they make. And we have a really nice community that we've built around Tanglin and Big Willow.
Yep, excellent. So I hope to see a lot of new faces and a lot of new kids and families there. And warmer weather ahead.
Thank you so much, Trevor and Mike. Right, we've got, let's see, Anne from Minnetonka Parks and Rec.
Hi, I'm Ann Davey with the City of Minnetonka, Recreation Superintendent. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay. We have kind of a heavy catalog during the summer, so I put some information on a PDF, and I can email this out as well. Is that okay if I share my screen?
Yep, let me stop sharing quick.
Okay.
All right, it should be okay.
Can you guys see anything?
Yes, I can see it. Hopkins,
Okay.
Minnetonka Rec Services.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just kind of go through, like I said, we have a lot of programs in the summer, so I just kind of picked out a few to highlight here. Some of our preschool and youth programs, we offer a lot of sports programs starting as young as age 2, going up to age 9 for these kind of instructional programs. Soccer, basketball, t-ball, ninja warrior, flag football, lacrosse. These are all 4-week sessions. We offer 3 of those during the summer that start late May and early September. And we do these in cooperation with Hopkins Community Ed. So people can register through either our organization or Community Ed. And kind of the same with the dance, science, and art programs. They're offered jointly. There's a bunch of single day and multi-day offerings throughout the summer. And then Park Adventures, that's kind of our playground program, we call it. It's at 10 different locations in Hopkins and Minnetonka. There's daytime or morning and afternoon sessions. This runs for 5 weeks in June and July. and it's just $10 per week. So it's really affordable for families. Continuing on, Rec on the Go. This one is kind of, we go all the way up to age 15, and this is a free program that happens on Fridays where we have mobile recreation. We drive a trailer around to several different parks throughout the day and just do kind of some pop-up programming. And so there's no registration required. People can just show up and hang out. We have a great group of staff. Our playground staff that works Monday through Thursday lead the activities on Fridays at these parks. Some camps we offer throughout the summer. We have theater camp, safety camp, drone building is kind of one of our newer ones that's been popular. Baseball, basketball, kind of your typical sports. Horse camp, that always fills up really fast. Anywhere from 1 to 4 day camps for these. And then Jadana is kind of our traditional nature-based camp that's very, very popular. These fill up usually day 1 or 2 of registration. And these are 3 one-week camps. They do archery, canoeing at Jadana Park in Minnetonka. And then swimming lessons, we offer daytime lessons. We do a number of 2-week sessions there where kids go from Monday through Thursday for 2 weeks straight. And then we do some evening and weekend lessons as well. And those are held at either the Williston Fitness Center, which is the city of Minnetonka's fitness center, or at West Junior High. Thought I'd just plug Shady Oak Beach too. We offer, if you haven't been to Shady Oak Beach, it's a really great facility, a lot of fun for families. We offer really cheap season passes, and you can rent kayaks, canoes, paddle boards, and then we do inflatables a few days a week, which are really fun for the kids. So our registration starts on Tuesday, March 8th, and our recreation brochure will go online a week to 10 days prior to that start date. The brochure is also mailed during the summer to all Hopkins and Minnetonka residents. And you can register online, in person, or by phone. It's good if you're gonna register online and there's something you really want to get into, to create your online account early, because those fill up fast, some of the programs, and people can sit on the phone for a long time, so it's easier to do it online. And then we do offer scholarships. An applicant can receive $100 for a year to apply to various programs. There is some verification required. An application is required to complete, but that's easy to do just by contacting our office. So that's all I have.
So I just want to give in a quick plug for Anne, because my kids have gone to Jadana camp every summer, and we've also done the parks program, which is like amazing. You drop your kids off and they do all kinds of fun things and get tired, and they come home to you tired, which is amazing. But our kids have done those every summer, and it's really a fantastic program. And I think it's also worth saying she's not joking when she tells you, like, be ready, create your account early, get up early, be online at 7:58 with your stuff in your cart so that you can check out that we've done their girls soccer for many years. And it's really, all the programs that they run are fantastically well run, and the volunteers, or the folks that they have running the programs, have been amazing. And so I just wanted to at least say anecdotally that we've been doing those for a long time, and they're all really great.
Thank you for saying that.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us, Anne.
Yep.
All right, Tommy from the YMCA.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Sorry, just having some technical difficulties there.
That's it.
My name's Tommy Waslick. I'm the sports director at the Ridgedale YMCA, overseeing our sports department at the Ridgedale, New Hope, and North Community YMCAs in Minneapolis. We offer sports programs for youth throughout the year, youth of all ages. I'll kind of highlight a couple of them that we do. We have youth sports classes for kids starting at age 3, typically age 3 up to age 9. Classes include basketball, soccer, tumbling, martial arts. Classes are kind of designed for more introductory and skill building for the youth that are wanting to try something for the first time. They're 4-week or 8-week class options that we offer 5 times throughout the year. Additionally, we also offer sports leagues for kids in grades 1 through 8. Leagues are, we run basketball, futsal, and volleyball during the school year, and then soccer, flag football, and track and field leagues in the summer. As part of the league, you practice with a team at a local location once a week during the evenings, and then you would travel and play against other YMCA teams in the metro area on weekends. Then finally, we have our summer sports camps. We run our camps, week-long camps throughout the summer. Sports of all options, basketball, flag football, baseball, tennis are some of our more popular ones. The week-long summer camps registration opens on February 1st. It kind of couples as childcare as well, where camp hours run from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we have childcare available starting at 7 a.m. and going to 6 p.m. in the evening. We do have financial assistance available for all programs based on financial need for the families, up to 40% off for any programs that we have. Really with our programs, the main things that we want to do is just, give the kids a safe space to come and, compete against other teams in the area, as well as, learn how to work together as a team and, take something out of it that they're able to bring into other areas of their life. So I think that is all I've got for you guys.
All right. Thank you so much, Tommy. We've got Jaleesa from Hopkins Community Education up next.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. Like she said, I'm Jaleesa Smith-Breedlove. I'm the Youth Programs Coordinator for Hopkins Community Ed. And first, I figured I'd start with telling you what Community Ed is for your district. So it is a department of the school district that works with all families, community members to bring learning engagement opportunities to people of all ages. So not only do we serve youth, but we serve early childhood as well as adult programming, and that is year-round programming. As well as summer programming, out of school time programs, and more. Some of the opportunities for this summer, we have a full slate. So we have our Kids in Company childcare program, which is provided by youth development professionals who have many years in the district. Right now for school year, I just like to let people know we are full with the wait list, but summer registration will begin, will open mid-February, so about February 11th or so, and will cater to full day activities, as well as offering our Blink program for incoming 5th and 6th graders. Our programming for the summer will be between $41 and $56 a day, depending on schedule. And there is financial assistance available for this program. You'll just want to make sure you contact Community Ed to utilize that resource. And then we also have Camp Royal, which is our full day as well as half day option day camp for students entering grades K through 6. Camps run Monday through Thursday, and that program will start June 6th and will go through August 11th. And registration opens for those on February 10th. And I would also recommend registering early for those programs. There can be, there's lots of different variety. And of course, you know, our STEM, Lego, and hands-on activities fill up first, but we also include baking, pottery, sports, art, and much more. Depending on the camp, payment plans are available, as well as a sliding scale for fees for those with financial need. You can find that on our community ed website, which I've seen in the agenda to register. And that camp takes place at Eisenhower Elementary School. And then we have our free summer parks program. For elementary students. This will take place at quite a few parks in Hopkins, and will also be supported by our district's nutrition services to provide a food truck for free lunches for students. And then youth enrichment, which is a part of Camp Royal, will also be having some pop-up activities at local schools during the summer, but mostly youth enrichment does focus on classes before and after school during the school year, as well as weekends. And then like Anne said, in conjunction with Minnetonka, we do have our preschool programming, which is focused on sports. And that's all.
All right. Thank you very much, Jaleesa, for joining us. And let's see, I will pass on to Ariel in Girl Scouts. Maybe she is not on right now. Then before we get to the next group, are there any questions for any of our previous speakers? Okay, let's move on then to Adam in Hopkins Ultimate Frisbee.
Hi, so I'm Adam Crystal, and I'm the president of the Hopkins Ultimate Recreation Team. And so let me start by telling you what Ultimate Frisbee is not. It is not what we used to do as kids, go out throwing the whammo Frisbee around and hoping that it stays in the air for a couple of seconds. Ultimate Frisbee is turning into a real sport, and I would call it a mix of football and soccer without the rough contact of football. Essentially, players throw the disc and catch it just like in football, but the difference is they can't move while they have the football. So they have to keep throwing it and running plays and things like that. So that's sort of the quick, 2-second overview of what Ultimate is. Our program is completely run by parent volunteers. So we're not really associated with the school at all, but kids can letter in it. So that's, I think that's gotten a lot of activity and a lot of talk over the last couple of years that we've been able to allow that ability. It's organized, we play in a league organized by a group called Minnesota Ultimate, and we play against other schools like Wayzata, St. Louis Park, Edina, and others as you go throughout the Twin Cities as well. Ultimate is considered a spring sport, and that's when most of the games are played. And there is a state tournament generally early in mid-June, around the same time as other state tournaments happen. Additionally, we play in various tournaments throughout the year. Most of them are within driving distance, but every once in a while we get on a plane and go to a different tournament in a different state somewhere. It just depends on what's going on. Over the last couple of years with COVID, we haven't done that, and a lot of the tournaments, even last year and this year, have been canceled because of COVID. But we hope, one day to get back to where we were before and do a lot of those outside tournaments. In terms of registration for the sport, it is open now. We have various registration times throughout the year. We have registration that goes basically, it's a long registration. It goes from January up until the end of March. So you can register at any point during that time. Practices, we practice all winter long, and we practice generally in either the junior high practice facilities. The structure, sorry, I forgot what those were. Generally 2 times a week for 5th through 8th graders, and 3 times a week for the older kids. And the older kids are 9th through 12th. And like I said, all practices are at North or West junior high structures, and they're generally Sunday and Tuesday nights for the younger kids, and Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday for the older kids. And then we do have a couple of dome times available, so the kids can get out and play during the winter. We generally do that once per month. We just did it last Sunday for January, but we do have 2 more dome times, one in January, or one in February, and one in March. And those are either Saturday or Sunday afternoons, and they're 2-hour time windows, and the kids have the entire dome. And we run practices and we run scrimmages, and it's really just a good chance for kids to be able to get out and, you know, play real games, you know, which is tough to do in those structures. Let's see, what am I leaving out here? And then, and so at the end of the year, there's a state tournament. We also have what we call a Hopkins Hustle, and that's a tournament that we run. It's a Hopkins Hurt Run program tournament that runs for 1 weekend in the middle of May. And we get teams from all across the state, and even in the upper Midwest, we get teams from all over for it. It's one of the largest high school run tournaments in the country. And we're really proud of it, and really, really excited about it. We do it out at the soccer area out in Blaine. So it's a fun tournament, and the kids love playing in it, and they love meeting people from all over. And it's just a nice way to end the year, really. In terms of registration and cost, the cost for MSL runs $240, and that covers all the practices and games throughout the end of the year. For the 9th through 12th graders, which we call varsity and JV, I don't have the cost right in front of me. I think it's $500 though for those players. And again, that includes everything, all the practices we have from now till the end of the year, all the games they play in, any tournaments we play in, jerseys, things like that. It covers all that. There are scholarship opportunities. It is on a need basis. And we just, you know, during the registration process, we ask if, you know, you would like a scholarship, and then we review it individually with each player that asks for it. So there isn't a set amount that we offer. It's just need dependent. And I think that covers most of the talking points that I have. I am free to answer any questions. I know that Carrie has my email address. You know, feel free to email me anytime with any questions if any arise. And I can stay on too if there are questions after everyone's done here.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Adam. Then maybe we'll go through a few more and check in about questions one more time in case somebody thinks of one. We have Ben and Billy with Hopkins Hurricane Wrestling.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ben Cousins, and I am the head wrestling coach at Hopkins High School. Sadly, Coach Billy is not able to join me tonight. He's just getting off of COVID, and he is doing a youth practice tonight over at the high school. But I wanted to touch on the youth a little bit. This is my first year in the district, so I'm going with what I know with and talking with Billy about it. For junior Hurricanes wrestling, that's 4 through 8 years old, the youngins. It's Sundays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. over at Lindbergh Center on the lower level. The wrestling room is right there, and that's $65. Registration's ongoing. It goes from December till the end of February. So if you want to have your child learn some self-defense, learn how to have fun, play games, but get rough and tough, and learn how to really be active for perhaps even the first time, this is the sport to do it with one of the best youth coaches you'll ever have in Coach Billy. Billy Behringer's a PE teacher over at Glen Lake. one of the most engaging people I've met in a long time. He really cares about the kids, as do I, but he will really get you off on the right foot if you join wrestling, which is a tough sport. It's a grinder of a sport, but you learn some footwork, how to stay in shape for other sports, and just how to be confident if you're not necessarily confident in your own skin, especially as a little tyke. But the Hurricanes program goes from 8 years old to 12 years old, and that's $95 starting out compared to the $65 for the junior Hurricanes. And that goes every Tuesday from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And that runs through from the end of November all the way till March 22nd. And both programs registration is ongoing, and both of those usually start mid-September, and it just carries on because we can never have too many in the wrestling room. And scholarships are available because we do work through community ed, so we're able to offer up some money in terms of getting kids out there on the mat, because we believe that no amount should separate a child from having the chance to compete and having the chance to just meet some different people than you would meet in the school, meet some really like-minded people, and just really build a camaraderie and a community like you never see in other sports. All the skills you get, all the technique you get in the sport is worth a lot, but it's nothing like working out and practicing with your brothers, your sisters. We accept everyone, from anybody with disabilities, anybody, any girls. We're really focusing on girls wrestling as much as we can. We're focusing on building it. Any boy, girl, pronoun, anybody, you name it, we'll accept anybody into wrestling, because everyone deserves a chance at a sport, and that's what we believe in. So that's really all I have. I am free for questions too. Feel free to ask me if you have any bigger kids about the high school level, junior high level, but I really wanted to touch on the youth because it's really important, because new talent is the lifeblood of our sport and all sports all together. And I just wanted to put in my 2 cents about ours. So thank you, everybody.
Great. Thank you, Ben, for joining us. All right. Erica with Hopkins Hurricane Swimming is up next.
Hi, I am the registrar with the Hurricane Swim Team, and we are a West Metro swim team, and we have swimmers from all over the West Metro area, mostly St. Louis Park, Hopkins, Minnetonka, a few Wayzata and Plymouth swimmers. And we have swimmers from ages 5 all the way through 18, and then we have some kids that come back summers during college and swim with us during the summers. We have a couple different programs for new swimmers or swimmers that are new to team swimming and competitive swimming. They are our pre-team, and that's for ages 5 through 8. And those are for kids that have never been on a team before. There's more information on our website, but there are requirements as far as what it takes to be on pre-team. And then once they've gone through pre-team, or if they are ages 9 through 11, then they would be in our Whirlwinds group if they're new to team swimming. And once they are done with either pre-team or Whirlwinds and are ready to be on the competitive team, then they would move into our age groups. And we have age groups that you generally go in 2-year increments. So we have our 8 and unders, and then we have our 9 and 10-year-olds, and then our 11 and 12-year-olds, and then we have our senior swimmers. So we have registration will be opening late March, or not, I'm sorry, not late March. Our registration will be opening in March, but we will have tryouts happening in February, probably mid to late February. And right now we don't have a date set for that, but if you are interested in getting more information when we do have a date set, you can go to our website and there's a form to fill out, and we will notify you when we have a date set. We do offer financial assistance for those in need, and that is based on family need, and it is approximately a 50% scholarship that we are able to give. And the cost of swimming for the elementary age groups, it ranges from about $30 to $50 per week. And the sessions depend on the season, but for the spring summer season, it will be probably 8 weeks for the spring and 8 weeks for the summer. You can register either just for the spring or just for the summer or for the entire spring summer session. And you do get a little bit of a discount if you register for the entire spring summer session. One thing I wanted to mention is that as far as practice times, we for the 8 and unders, we practice 3 times a week. And for the 9 through 11-year-olds, we practice, or 9 through 12-year-olds, we practice 4 times a week. And I think that that's all I have. If anyone has any questions, I'll hang out for a while, and feel free to ask or shoot me an email. My email is just registrar@hurricanesmn.com. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. Thank you, Erica. All right, Dan with Hopkins Area Little League.
Hello, thanks for having me. My name's Dan Watts. I'm the current president at Hopkins Area Little League. And I just wanted to thank you guys for allowing us to come and just talk a little bit about our sport and our organization. I think it's great that we have so many options and opportunities in our community to have our students and our athletes out there being active and healthy and engaged and having an opportunity to do some fun things and still be with their friends and community members and see how all these things work. At Hopkins Area Little League, we have baseball from the age of 4 all the way up through our 12-year-olds, beginning with T-ball, moving your way up through a couple of other different development levels. And then we have 2 divisions at the top where we have athletes who are able to pitch to each other, so player pitch level. Another big part of our league, and it's one of the things that I'm most proud of with Hopkins Area Little League, is our Challenger division, which provides an opportunity for student athletes with physical and mental disabilities and challenges to be a part of our league free of cost. And it's something we rely heavily on volunteers for providing that opportunity for those student athletes. And we even have some of our current players and family members and coaches who buddy up with players and coach the teams and provide that opportunity. That's a big one for us. We really, really enjoy it. And those athletes can be from the age of 4 all the way up to the age of 20, as long as they're enrolled in some sort of schooling within the Hopkins School District. We actually, our boundary for the Challenger division is a little bit bigger than our boundary for the regular divisions within our Hopkins Area Little League. So we really don't turn anybody away. We have some people who come in from a little bit outside of our area as well. We're a league that has about 350 boys and girls. And most of our games are played at Metzold Field, which is right downtown Hopkins, which has been super helpful as we were dealing with the difficulties of COVID the last couple of years, not having to do too much traveling around. So there are some teams in the higher divisions that do a little bit of traveling around toward the end of the year for maybe a tournament or some interleague play, but it is within the metro. And new players are welcome at any level. I've had the opportunity to coach a number of years at Hopkins Area Little League, and I even had a brand new 12-year-old baseball player who had never played the game before join us last year and had a blast and found that he really loved the game and hopes to continue to play at other levels. Registration for Hopkins Area Little League is now open, and it will close on March 11th for our older players, so players about 3rd grade to 6th grade. Little League baseball age doesn't always coincide exactly with grade level, so we're thinking between 3rd grade and 6th grade. Registration will be closing March 11th, and evaluations for placement on team would be March 12th. March 20th is when our registration ends for all players that are younger than 3rd grade or don't plan on participating in a league where players pitch to each other. So our coach pitch division, machine pitch division, and T-ball, those divisions will close registration on March 20th. The price for participation in Hopkins Area Little League, like I mentioned, in the Challenger division, it's free. T-ball and coach pitch division is $70. As you move your way up in Hopkins Area Little League, the price does go up. We have our next level at $140, which is the machine pitch division. And then both of our kid pitch divisions are $155 per season. And that includes a hat, jersey, practices, games, everything's included. We do have scholarship opportunities as well. And I've heard from from some of the other organizations, there is a registration, application process for that scholarship, but typically it's just providing some sort of evidence of need. The free or reduced lunch has been something that's been used more often than other forms of proof for need. So those students who are qualifying for free and reduced lunch would be someone we would consider as qualified for our scholarships as well. We are just one of the baseball options in our community, and we're happy to provide that. I'm really not here to try to sell our league to anyone, but we do love that we have the opportunity to put ourselves out there as one of the options, because us and the other youth level baseball leagues in our area, we actually all filter into the same travel baseball at Hopkins Baseball Association. And then our players typically play together at the high school. We do have some players at the HBA level who come from a little bit outside of Hopkins, sometimes Golden Valley and things like that. But we're just happy to provide one of those opportunities in Hopkins and the surrounding community for Little League baseball. And that's pretty much all I have for you guys. And I'll stick around if you have any questions for me.
Wonderful. Thank you, Dan. All right. John with Hopkins Girls Lacrosse is up next.
Hi, welcome. Thank you for having me. I actually represent both the boys and girls program and our youth program as well. So I'm currently wearing 3 hats at the present time. What we have going on right now is that we actually start this Sunday with a try at lacrosse, and we're also running a program for kids who have had a little bit of experience with that called intermediate advanced lacrosse for those kids. Prices for that is $19, and that is offered through the Hopkins Community Education website. After that, we'll be moving into what we call box lacrosse, which will be a registration fee of $50 that you make out to USA Lacrosse to cover insurance. And then there are some fees depending on if you're going to do the house program or if you're going to participate in the league program. Fees for the league program run between $200 and $300, which do offer scholarships for those people that need it. We provide all the equipment and jerseys and everything. So it's basically come in, try it. It's open to both boys and girls to be able to try our program. We offer opportunities throughout the year to try lacrosse, just to get included and just to try it to see what they think about it. And it's really open. We start them as young as 2nd grade. Most of our teams are usually done at the 3rd through 9th grade level. After that, they usually head into our high school age program. We do not do a lot during the summer except offer clinics. We are trying to change that to offer some league experience during the summertime. COVID has hit us hard, so we have a struggle fielding some summer teams, but that's not to say there is a move to try to get us at least 1 or 2 teams to play this summer. And that'll be a little bit more of an expensive program because they'll be renting fields and things like that. And those fees haven't been determined yet. We're just starting the year off with that. That's really about all I have. It's really, really fast and quick. Like I said, we do start this Sunday through Hopkins Community Education for those kids to try it. But we're always having those leagues. Most of our clinics and stuff will be on our website, but also will be through the community education pamphlet and website as well, that we try to offer that just to get the word out to as many people as we can. So I'll stay on if people have questions afterwards, but we're very excited to get the season off this weekend, and hope to find new players all the time for us.
Sounds good. Thank you, John. All right, Lenny with Golden Valley Girls Softball.
Yeah, excuse me. Thank you, everybody, for having me and having all these other programs talk about their programs. I think it's wonderful that you do this for folks. So I'm going to talk about Golden Valley Girls Softball. I'm the current president of the league. I've held this position now for 3 years. Took over just shortly before COVID, so lucky me to start being president at that point. Golden Valley Girls Softball is a slow pitch softball league for girls who are currently in 3rd through 12th grade. We have 2 divisions, a junior division, which are the 3rd through 6th graders, and then a senior division for the older girls. Given that this is Tanglin, I'll focus on the junior division in what I talk about today. The focus of our league is to have fun. We want kids to learn the skills of softball, take it in and become a lifetime sport for them. But the real focus is on having fun and healthy competition. We're not super competitive, but there is an element of competition to it. We welcome girls from all communities. So we have a lot of players from Golden Valley, obviously, but Hopkins, Minnetonka, St. Louis Park, Robbinsdale, Minneapolis, and many more. And what's really fun about our league is kids make friends and get to play with their friends and play against their friends from all these other communities, which for me is one of the most fun things to see as the season goes along, that kids are meeting kids that they otherwise might not have had the chance to meet. Our junior division generally plays Monday and Wednesday nights. We have about 3 weeks of practices starting at the beginning of May, and then we go into our game season. Individual teams often schedule another day during the week to do an extra practice or something like that. We try to be really affordable. We kept our rates the same this year as last year. So the fee is $130 for the whole season. And again, we start practicing in May and the season runs through late July. There's a late fee. It's $20 more, but that doesn't start until late March. So our main fee is $130. Registration should be opening in the next day or two. We're just finalizing that right now, and it will be open until around April 20th or 21st. We have evaluations on April 23rd. Everybody gets on the team, so it's not a tryout. It's just to evaluate to get kids on the team. And then anybody who misses the registration deadline can still walk in up through the evaluations and still hopefully get on a team at that point. We do have a travel program for kids that want a higher level of competition. We play against softball teams from other cities in Minnesota, and then there is a state travel tournament at the end of July as well that we participate in. So for kids that do want even a higher level of competition, they can do that. Our regular league, as I mentioned, we play Mondays and Wednesdays. We do have 2 tournaments during the season for those kids so that they can have an opportunity to play in a tournament, even though they're not on the travel team. What else can I tell you? We offer free clinics. Our first one's coming up on January 23rd, and then we have 1 each month, February, March, and April. Those are free. Great way for returning players to come and knock some of the rust off in the winter, but also to bring out new potential families as well to see what we're all about. We play all of our games and all of our practices in Golden Valley, but most of the games are at Lions Park, which for those of you that know where that is, it's probably only 5 to 10 minutes from Tanglin. It's very close by. We do offer also scholarships. Generally speaking, we just have folks fill out a form, say why they feel like they need a scholarship, and then we grant it. We don't ask for financial proof or anything like that. We'll take people's word for it that they're being truthful when they ask for it. Generally, it's half off, but we want everybody to be able to play. So if there's somebody who finances, it's a real problem. We would even be willing to let them play at no charge in that case. So, I'll end up with just saying it's a super, super fun league. Families have a great time. It's a real community, real family atmosphere. When we play the games, you've got 4 fields going. Parents sit around on the first baseline, third baseline, behind the dugouts, and they're just having a blast. Frankly, half the time, I'm not sure the parents pay attention to the game because they're having so much fun just talking to their parents that are out there. But it's a really, really fun league. And we focus on learning those skills. And so if you want your daughter to have a great experience, a fun experience, and learn the skills of hitting, fielding, and so on and so forth, check us out. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Lenny. All right. For Hopkins Fast Pitch, Dan was unable to make it tonight, so Jen is going to give us a little bit of information.
I am going to inadequately meet your needs for all of the Hopkins fast pitch information. What I know of fast pitch is because my daughter has played fast pitch with Hopkins for 4 years now, and the Doses are great friends of ours. So I talked to Dan this afternoon, and I got some information that he wanted me to make sure to pass along. And of course, you're always welcome to reach out to Dan specifically to get some information, and I'll do my best to try to give you the quick skinny here with you guys tonight. So this is a community-based volunteer-run youth softball association for players who reside within the Hopkins School District. Their goal is to provide a fun environment where girls can learn and develop skills and the fundamentals needed to move through the game of softball. And then, of course, they also focus on the important life lessons of teamwork and sportsmanship, and developing new friendships. The one thing he really wanted me to make sure to touch on is to sort of alleviate any concerns over the connotation of being fast pitch. It really offers appropriate level of play and progressions for all age. My daughter started in the first grade. She was 6. There was nothing aggressive about the pitching. They started a really appropriate level. Primarily, it starts out with coach pitch. They move into a machine pitch. And then at the 10U level, they start where the players actually start to pitch to one another. So the pre-K and kindergartners play T-ball, and the coaches pitch. And then as they progress through, it really is appropriate for the age group and ability. They focus on fast pitch softball because that's really the way that softball is played at the junior high and the high school and collegiate level. So their development is really geared towards playing the game of fast pitch so that they're prepared to play for their school teams on down the road. So in fact, 100% of the high school roster at Hopkins played fast pitch softball as youth. So there's summer softball teams for the pre-K through junior high level, and those seasons are April through May. And then they, start in April, May, kind of depending on weather, and then they run through June. And the younger players run through July for the older teams. They typically do practice once or twice a week, a league game, and then there's various tournament opportunities as the summers progress. And then in addition to the competitive season, they also do winter skills clinics. Those are typically on Sunday afternoons. They'll start at the end of January. Registration will open on their website in the next couple of weeks, kind of COVID permitting. Because of the weather, they typically do skills clinics inside the high school gym. And so depending on how, indoor play goes, they'll decide kind of how to run those. Everything is volunteer coaches from the high school and then former high school softball players. It's really one of the things I think is really cool is that the younger kids oftentimes will watch the older girls play, and then they'll all go out onto the field and participate in their team rallies, and they learn each other's cheers. And so it's a really nice way for the younger kids to have some exposure to the older kids and kind of look up to that older girl and that sort of sports connection, which I think has really been great, at least for my daughter. And I know that a lot of the littles like to be around the bigs and see what they do. I'm trying to think if I've forgotten anything. If anybody has any questions, let me know. I am a huge fan of the Hopkins Fast Pitch organization. They have so much fun. And the one thing I will say is that their coaches really make it enjoyable for them. There's, when they're learning to slide, they're using slip and slides, so they have a day where they get wet and they throw water balloons at targets to try to, work on their throwing skills. And these coaches have just been amazing. And so they definitely do their best to make it fun and enjoyable. And the kids from all the different Hopkins elementaries. My daughter knows kids at Glen Lake and knows kids at Eisenhower and knows kids from the other schools because she's playing on a team that has all these other girls from these other schools. So that'll serve them really well, I think, as they go into junior high and high school, to have relationships with some of the girls that are at the other elementary schools. So, Dan, if you're watching this after in the replay, my apologies if I forgot anything, but y'all are welcome to reach out to me and ask questions, or you're welcome to reach out to Dan as well and watch the Hopkins Fast Pitch website for registration info.
Thank you, Jen. Before we move on, I want to make sure that nobody is here from Girl Scouts that we missed. I'm assuming something came up and Ariel couldn't join us, but I just want to make sure that somebody else isn't here.
I can send Ariel a quick message too.
Okay. Okay, so then we've got another parent, Girls on the Run. We didn't have a speaker, and Kathy was gonna talk quickly about what the program is like.
Much like Jen said, I just a parent. We only did it one time, so I was trying to remember exactly how it went. I'm pretty sure they had a fall program, and they said they were gonna have a spring run too. And that would be just right through Tanglin. And so usually, like, we found out through a brochure, like a one-page thing that said it was coming. Again, Mrs. Davy, right? Delvey, ran it. So I don't know if she'll do that again. And then there was like younger coaches that did it with her. So I'm not exactly sure where they're from, but they were excellent, I will have to say. But it kind of reminds me a little bit of Girl Scouts, but adds running to it, because they do a lot of just lessons about just being you and being confident in you. And it was pretty awesome. And I believe it was twice a week for like an hour. And then they built up the running. Like, my daughter did not, she would have said, I don't like running before. But they build up to it. They just, like, you set your own goals. I want to do 5 laps today, and then see if you can beat it next time. And they just, a lot of like encouragement that way. And then there were lessons each time about some I'm blanking on the words, but just like about being who you are always. And then the thing that was the best is we did a 5K, and you have to have a volunteer run with each girl. It doesn't have to be a parent. It can be a sister. It can be an aunt, a friend, run. And they had this big event where Girls on the Run from all over come and run. And they just do a really good job of like really pumping everybody up and celebrating the hard work the girls did to make it to this 5K. I ran with my daughter, and I'm not a runner. But it was one of the most impressive things I've been a part of. It was on, they had these signs all the way, like, you go girl, and stuff like that all the way. So it was very motivating. My daughter loved it and is going to sign up again in the spring. So that should come out through the school. And I think it's 4th, 5th, 6th, I think. I don't think it's younger than 4th. So yeah. And it's reasonable. It was like $130 maybe. So, and I'm sure there are scholarships as well.
All right. Thank you, Kathy, for sharing a little bit about it. For all of the speakers that have held on here with us, in case any questions have come up before we let them go, if they choose to, does anybody have questions that they have thought of through the rest of the little talks? Okay, I do not see any. So thank you all for coming to join us. We appreciate your time and hearing from you about your program. If questions come up, we've got your websites and we've got all the contact information. So we will reach out to get those answered if needed.
And we're going to post this on our Tanglin PTO YouTube page and put links on it to Facebook, so that as if parents who weren't able to attend tonight, they'll be able to watch it afterwards.
Yes, thank you. Two other ones listed here. We've got Kitty Wampus, who has often held camps over the summer. I spoke with Amy, and they are currently holding off through March just to see what is going on with COVID. But we just put the website up in case you want to check it out and watch for it. After March is when she was hoping to have the information. And Three Rivers Park District is another website to check out for lots of summer camps and activities.
Can I just make one mention of the Three Rivers? I know that we signed up for like golf leagues. They offer golf leagues and things like that for kids throughout the summer. And I think it's one of those things like many of us have talked about, or, you know, many other people have talked about today, is just keep an eye out for the registration because it fills up pretty fast. I know they have some like wilderness week-long camps, not like overnight camps, but just camps at their parks that filled up really fast last summer. So we didn't have a chance to participate in those, but I assume since they filled up so fast, they're pretty popular. So if you're looking for, you know, more kind of week-long park camps, I think Three Rivers has those too. But they have like a golf league, I don't know, kids golf something. So if your kids are interested in that.
Thanks, Lucy. All right, the treasurer's report. Shauna, do you want me to keep it on my screen, or do you want?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, December was a pretty quiet month for us for spending. We actually gained money. That was due to the district reimbursing us for Lexia. And then also we did a donation for winter clothes that went really well. And we got $770 so far from that, which is really awesome. And yeah, you can kind of check out our graphs if you want to see where we're at, but that's all I have, unless you have questions.
I will just throw in real quick that I happened to see that the Square One Art check came in. I haven't run it over. It was in the mailbox and we doubled what we were going to make. We were going to make 400, I think. And the check was for like 800 and some change. So that's really good news. And then I emailed with the bank yesterday and they put in the check request to go ahead and get the payment moving for the $7,000 sponsorship that they committed to giving us to. So you should see that. I'm hoping, you know, within the next couple of weeks.
Awesome.
All right.
And thanks to everybody who donated to the winter gear thing. That was really fantastic. They got a lot of used gear donations. And I know Brittany was like honestly in tears at the idea that she had so much. And she and Miss Meg spent some time in the we found a space in the school for them to sort of use as a place to hold the winter gear. And so I think it became sort of a twofold process of like, where are we going to keep this stuff so that when kids have a need, you know, that it's not just like in a bin and a kid has to like pull out all the things and try on all the coats. And so they have a space that they're dedicating to that, but then also using some of the funds to provide sort of a place by the playground in that hallway where as kids go out, if they've forgotten their gloves, which my kids do all the time, not that she doesn't have gloves at home, but that she just forgot her gloves that day, that there will be gloves that not getting moldy like in a bin, but like sit on a shelf. And so the kids can go outside, put the gloves on, play. And then as they come back in, the gloves come off and they go back on the shelf and they dry there. So I thought that was a really smart use of those funds. And I know that Brittany is out this week. She's out of the building. And so I let her know if she needs me, that I'm happy to help her, but that they were going to kind of take stock of what had been donated and then use the funds to purchase to make sure that they were really being smart about what they got.
Sounds good. Thank you. So we've got about 10 minutes left. Jen, did you want to talk a little bit about I Love to Read Month?
I'm happy to talk about I Love to Read Month. There's a lot of moving parts. I don't know that Dr. Hebeisen is still on the call. I think he messaged or something and said he had to go early.
Yeah, I think he jumped off at 7:15. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's good.
So, I mean, a lot of this is really dependent on what being in person looks like in February. And so I gave a proposed calendar of events to Hebeisen and to Holly and Ann to kind of look through, and 100% of it is stuff that doesn't require volunteers. It doesn't require any intermingling of classes. It really was focused on trying to be as COVID sensitive as possible, and still be able to bring some fun and some activity into the building. So we do have book fair. That's the week of the 11th. We're going to do a coin wars the week before that, where every class will have a milk jug. For anybody who's been collecting milk jugs for me, thank you so much. But every class is going to get a milk jug, and like Mondays pennies, Tuesdays nickels, Wednesdays dimes, Thursdays quarters, Fridays dollars. And the classes will get to spend the money that they raise at the book fair. So I'm sure many of you have gone to the book fair, and we say, like, would you like to round up 9 cents to donate money to our library? That's for a program called All for Books, and it goes into our register. And this way we're sort of collecting that All for Books money ahead of time. And the dialogue that Hebeisen and Holly are going to have with the classroom teachers is, if you identify some kids in your class that are particularly at need, or you know that they don't normally come to the book fair or spend their own money, that money can certainly go to purchase books for those families, but that the rest of the money will be used to purchase books for those classrooms. So we'll still ask the teachers to come and pull books, so that when you come to shop at the book fair, lots of parents love to say, like, you know, I'll buy this Elephant and Piggy book, and you put a sticker in it, and it's like from, you know, Evelyn and Beatrice to Miss Marston or whatever. But this way it really focuses on getting more of the book fair funds back into the hands of our teachers to fill their classrooms with books. And the good news is, like, it seems like double dipping, but it actually goes towards our book fair funds, and we earn Scholastic dollars off of that money that they spend at our book fair, which just buys more books for our building. So the coin challenge, I think, is going to be super fun. We haven't done it before in the past, and I think it's going to be kind of a cool thing. And then there'll be some other like fun, silly little things. 2/22/22 is a Tuesday. So I've been trying to find us a restaurant that we could do a restaurant fundraiser for. Probably it'll end up being Chipotle. But essentially we're going to have some like twinning Tuesday things. We're looking at doing a Starbucks cafe in the library, where we have like book tastings, kind of like you do a coffee tasting. Those are things Holly is going to run through the library throughout the month of February. And then some other, like, you know, the dress like a book character days and those kinds of things, which, you know, again, don't really require volunteers or anything like that. So it's just going to bring some light and some fun and some books into the building. And so if anybody has any questions, let me know. It's really going to depend on how things go, and assuming we stay in person and all of that. But book fair will run primarily like we did it last time in COVID, where we use Sign Up Genius and we limit the amount of people coming into the library at one time. And I think for now, the plan is to offer conferences in a sort of hybrid option, where you can choose to do distance or virtual conferences, or you can choose to come into the building, depending on each staff member's comfort level, I think. And so again, we kind of have to wait and see a little bit, but you know, in the past years, we haven't had like mass amounts of people all shopping the book fair at one time. And so for the most part, we just don't see it being an issue with, you know, COVID mitigation concerns. I think that about sums it up.
Okay. Yes. Sounds good. Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw Abby on here to talk about service week.
I saw her for a minute.
Abby, I wasn't seeing her right now. Abby, are you there? Okay. Well, that will be an upcoming opportunity. So you can watch for information about that, as well as recess volunteers. I think we needed to check in with Dr. Habeisen to see where things were at with that. We've got our new idea submission form. So anybody who has thoughts for the PTOs, ideas of things that they'd like to see happen at the school, questions, comments, things like that, you can fill out that form. Our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, March 8th. That will be the same time at 6:30. And with that, I think that that's everything for today.
Hey, this is Christina. Can I just add a quick thing?
Yeah.
Just FYI, the talent show has been scheduled for March 8th, I believe. Yes, March 8th. And so auditions will be coming up the first week in February. Just FYI, there'll be information coming out on it soon.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sorry, Christine, did you say the first week in February?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming we're doing it virtual again or no?
No, it's scheduled. Okay, so hold on, going back. It's, yeah, so auditions are like, I believe the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of February. I don't have the dates in front of me, but I think it's the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
After.
No, they're during kids' recess times.
Oh, okay.
And then the talent show is scheduled for the 8th at the Hopkins Auditorium.
No, we can't hear you.
Asked you.
Oh, no.
Now we
Oh.
go.
Hello?
Now, yep.
Weird. March 8th, Hopkins School Auditorium with the rehearsal on the 7th.
Okay, and that's 3rd through 6th, right?
Yes, 3rd through 6th grade.
All right.
Thanks for doing it.
Thank you.
Did you reach out to Terry and Kim to see if they wanted to help you be the boss?
No, not yet.
All right, if there's nothing else, then we can end this meeting. I think some board members might stay on after if they have a few minutes, but otherwise, thank you all for joining us. And hopefully we will see you again Tuesday, March 8th.
Thanks, everyone.